Hmm. Let's start the game here, see if I get some lag. And hello, I'm Salgonoid, and I'm going to be playing X4 Foundations. Everything says I'm streaming, but I don't know if there's anything actually on YouTube yet. Yeah, YouTube is saying I'm live. So we will get into some X4 Foundations. And this playthrough, I started because I wanted to check on the split and xenon rebalance that happened with the 7.57 and 7.5 drops. Because if you rebalance the split, then you also rebalance the xenon. Because the xenon, we're used to bulldozing through the split and just completely taking over Zyarth and free family space, or, fallen families and Zyarth would just completely disappear from the game. But that's been fixed, as we saw with this in the previous two playthroughs, is that the Zyarth have been given some teeth in the form of added stations and fleets, and the fallen families are also holding their own. And yet, the fallen families are not bulldozing the Argonians that are up in their space. Okay, so let me get to a better screen here so you can see more of the game. Yeah, let's put the game on full screen and go right back to it. And I'm going to hit my record button because OBS will record what we're about to look at. And we built some ships for Argon on two different assembled fleet missions. And if we go up here and look at the remains of this battlefield right here, you can see right there's the S-curve, there's what was a Xenon defense station. And then if you start looking around at all of these ships, okay, the Argonians do not build themselves in Osaka. And there's another one. And there's another one. And there's another one. These Osakas are player built. And you can also see the wreck of a ship named Josephine. Well, none of the NPC factions name their ships. None of them. So they died, but when they did so, before this carrier died, the fleet that came in here with her managed to take out a Xenon defense station. So 8 destroyers came in here. I'm looking for the Spiral of Death. That may have been killed when I logged out of the game. And so there you have it. When you assemble ships or freighters, or, destroyers, freighters, carriers, whatever you build for the NPC factions, stay in the game completely. I named Josephine. There she was. They got delivered over in Hatikva's Choice 3, an Argon sector, and she had some frigates with her and a behemoth, and The other thing to note is when you assemble a fleet for like these carrier builds that Argon wants, those are not maximized stats on those ships that you build in assembled fleet. I think her engines were like Mark 1s or Mark 2s, definitely not Mark 3. So they were middle of the road builds, and came up here and took out a Xenon platform. No problem. Okay, they lost a carrier, but that's because the carrier fell victim to fleet AI mechanics and tried to fly across the station to get in firing range, even though she's only got a large turret with a 6-kilometer range. So it's just death for a carrier to get near a Xenon station. So that was going to happen. So now Argon has like 7 or 8. So there's 6, 7 that I can see. There was one spiraling up here. And still in Tharkus Cascade. So I like to call it downtown Xenonville. Well, it's actually their border sector, and this is the sector that they use to attack both Argon and Zyarth up here. Now the Zyarth had 3 stations up here and a heavy carrier fleet. If this gets built completely, the Zyarth are in trouble. I may have to go up there and do something about it. I have 2 carrier fleets, Mirabelle and Esmeralda. And if you leave comments in my chat, feel free to leave name suggestions. I should actually rename the stream to what happens to ships that you build for NPCs. So I've only got like another 15 minutes I can be on. It's a short stream. I have to go out and make some money for myself. So I'm going to rename these fleets. So you got rename the ship, rename the fleet. I do actually have 6 fleets. That's why it got named Fleet 6. And we'll rename Mirabelle as well. No, not the ship. The fleet. And it looks like I still have a defense station being built for Argon. Why can't you find the damn... There we go. Okay, so there. How far along is this? And the other thing about this battle, when we zoom out, you can see not only did they take out this station, when I was in here at one time counting before they went away, before they timed out, I was counting half a dozen K-Rex. So that was the major battle, and there were a whole bunch of Xenon fighters and see. So the Xenon did try to save their factory. They failed. All right, how's this factory doing? We are building a defense station for Argon. So that's like 15 minutes from completion. We had rebuilt or expanded my factory in 18 billion. Still waiting on those plasma conductor because I forgot to add them on when I went to build hull parts and weapon components and whatnot. This will not stop until these hull parts get in 4 minutes. But what we did here, we expanded and added in, because the Talati don't like to buy minerals from players because they're cheap, not Ferengi. So they can mine their own ore, at least in this playthrough. So they'll buy the Talatianium, but they weren't buying any of the other refined stuff. You can see that's why these 3 warehouses are filled up. That's okay. And we have all the gas, and we are getting ore now because I gave the station a large ore freighter thanks to an Argon completion mission. In fact, when I built Josephine, one of the rewards for that mission was a magnetar with some almost half full of Vanadium. Okay, so we don't want to buy anything for this all parts factory. And to do that, we need, or is it the hull parts? We're running this plasma conductor thing. We don't want to buy plasma conductors. And that's what these guys are selling, because we want to maximize our factory out, or we want to maximize our factory's profit. And we see, because I'm not seeing transfers over here. Oh, there's a transfer right there. But then I'm seeing all of these ore purchases. Again, all the time I'm having to rescue this guy. And let's see if we can get some cavalry down there to help him. And another, see, now the Xenon defaulted to behavior, and over here by where this battle occurred. Now this is the spiral of death I was talking about. See, there's the 8th destroyer I was looking for. And these two are going to spiral up and up because each is trying to get above the other for a maximal fire and optimal firing position. And that's the way that AI works, is they keep going up and up and up and up and up, and they're still in the game. Why? I've seen them out 3,000 kilometers. So my guess is they will go probably all the way out to 75,000 kilometers. And we are not limited to one of these death spirals per sector. All right, so miner number 10, I think, is down in Cardinal's Redress. Being accosted by, yeah, and it's the same area. So I am going to move his. I've got a fleet there, one of my quick reaction fleets in Cardinal's Redress. And this guy is hilarious. He'll fly to a station and fly right by it. Let's see if we can do multiple targets here. Yeah, just picked up the enemies. And he is fleeing. He may duck through that gate. there's like a 5% chance it'll duck through the gate that's right there. And then there's like another 5% chance that it'll head for that station. But then the other 90% is that he'll pick a random direction to flee. And every time it gets shot, it'll pick a different random direction to flee. And this is old world video games, all the way back to EverQuest. Not EverQuest 2, EverQuest, the original. When EverQuest came out and the developers were saying, well, you've got to give the AI a chance to win. You've got to give the game a chance to beat the player. And I'm like, why? This thing makes decisions much faster than I do. It can control 1 million ships in the blink of an eye in a microsecond, and you want to give it a chance. And so that's what the AI is doing there. The AI is trying to give the Ka'ak a chance to destroy that miner. And here's 2 hot fighters that are going to ignore the situation. There's 2 more. They took out one of the Ka'ak. My guys are still standing around. The Ka'ak have been showing up down here a lot. So I am going to move that default patrol area down here. Because this is where Miner 10 is always getting in trouble. So that's like the 4th time in an hour that I've had to rescue that guy. And these quick reaction fleets, just a couple of katanas. Each katana has 2 Takobas as escort, as defenders. Don't want them on intercept because they'll be across the sector, or they'll be alone. You want them traveling in fleet. And that's how all of these QRFs are set. 2 katanas can definitely handle 4 Ka'ak Queen's Guards. And where did Miner 10 go? Yeah, he ducked out, which is a problem because he may go over there and start mining. He's on sector auto mine. So fly back to your anchor space and look at his orders. Just local auto mine. That's all I wanted him to do because I have a station in this sector. I just want him to stay in this sector where I have a factory and I have a fleet. Alright, so situation resolved. Close these QRFs up. And I know a lot of people like to see the first person play. I am sitting in
Perseus, Vanguard.
Argon Prime. And I think I only have 1 Radiant Quest alive. I call them Radiant Quests because it's the Argon versus Xenon warline. And there are a bunch of repetitious quests, so once I finish this large-scale defense construction, I can go back to Argon space and get another one. But what I've also done is set up a bunch of teleports, TATAs, TT, teleport, and I've got one in Saturn, I think. Yeah. And I want to bebop over there to Saturn. Can I teleport there? Not quite, but I can definitely get to Sagaris. Right there. And so I've got the teleport range out to 5 sectors, I think. And that's the research I'm working on. I'm trying to get
Entering system.
so that I can
Sagaris.
teleport anywhere on the map. And the trick to teleporting is I don't want a station or a ship or a station in every sector. So I just these are all sitting at faction representatives. And so I look and see, does Sagaris have a quest for me? And so here we've got the Sagaris Pioneer Trade Guild. And these are all Radiant quests. When you finish one and leave sector and come back, the list will refresh and you'll have these same quests available. And I am looking for salvage job is where you get in your spaceship and go board a ship in the middle of a minefield and rescue it. I mean, it could have rescued itself all along, but hey, you get half the ship's value when you do that. Antigone Trade Guild might also have a ship build. So portfolio, yeah, so ship attainment. I will take that. And see what she wants built. An Ides. An Ides a Vanguard. Not a Sentinel, a Vanguard. And I believe the Vanguard is built in Argon. Yeah. And she's giving me ship value plus 50% for this mission. So I'll add that to the shopping list, max that out, and confirm the order. She might, or Antigone might have an actual cap on that. You'll open the briefing, and so there's no cap. That's why I say max it out. I'm not going to do the panel hacks because I want to save my security stuff for the Hyperion mission. Okay, so close that. And let's see. So these little freighters, it's a medium freighter and it'll build quick. We'll get that done. I will try and stay on for a little bit longer. Until my blood sugar starts complaining, which it's not.
Hello there. Hello.
Had to start the day out early and take the wife to a doctor appointment. Of course, we're old. Getting old is not a good thing. Okay, so that Ides is built, and she wants it delivered to Antigone Memorial. And Antigone and Sagaris like to have the delivery off the y-axis, or off the x-axis, or plus or minus y. So we want her to go over there, fly that way, and then we have to check. Yeah, see? So that's where it's going to go if I don't do something. So shift, hold, left click and drag. And there's my y-axis. And then double check this way. So that ship will fly over there on its own. And while waiting, I want to jump to Terran space. Yeah. I do have a ship in Saturn. And then in Terran space, oh, thank you, autosave. I guess it's been 20 minutes.
Entering system. Sol.
So we will look at missions. Okay, so the great work was the military base that I just built. And we'll see the number next. I get payment received 20.758 million. So a little bit richer. And then once we get over 200 million, I'll buy some bombers for Esmeralda's fleet. So we went to Terran space because you have to be in Terran space to get the Terran missions. And likewise, you have to be in Argon space to get the Argon versus Xenon mission. And you want to look for these hard missions like me. So large-scale offensive construction. Gather fleet and distance system. You know, you could do this. Once you've got some active, serious fleets built, you could do that. They should have extremely hard, very hard there. And this is so 598. And I'm going to get a mineral for that. That's build a fleet. And then this one is build a fleet and build a station. You have to do both to get the Hokkaido. I'm going to accept this to see where it is. And also what she needs to be built. And if I can build it. So open the briefing. So I cannot build a, well, yeah, I can build a Tokyo, can I? And I can build an Osaka. I can build the Falks. I can build Kukris. So 8 combat ships. And the other thing to check is where do I have to deliver them? And it's going to be way over here. And see, this is my problem right here. They have to fly through Tharkas Cascade. So you spend 100 million credits to deliver ships here. And the reason it's going in there to Family Newt is because I don't have this gate explored. So I'm going to pause that mission and tell him to go explore Family Newt. And then what I can do is that I will have gates set up so I can fly through there. And it's because this is grayed out. You don't want to do ship delivery through extremely hostile territory. Now, if Argon goes up there and takes out that other station for us, fine. But they did not. These destroyers all dispersed. And so, of course, they're being picked at by the Xenon. And I may have built that, who knows. But it's going to go up there and start pinging that station. We don't have the Xenon Zerg train up there. This is not getting built. Because the Zyarth, they're going to do something about it. Not much, but something. Alright, so once that sector gets deployed or explored, and we're going to do it the fast way right here. I'm not going to wait, and then we'll see if I can build the Tokyo and an Osaka. And then the next trick is gather the fleet in one place and then set up a path for them to follow. A bunch of fly to and waits, because I don't want them to go through Tharkus Cascade. But the quest is definitely doable. Okay, so I bet he's got a bunch of satellites. No. My bad. So let's wait for that explorer to get the sector opened up. Or better still, get the right ship there, Salgonoid. Upgrade, repair. What's the price for? 56 is too much. 56K. I want him to fly to. How much are they here? $62. So you could actually go pick those up at 56K and then come over here and dump them for 62, which is how I started this playthrough, was swapping advanced satellites. So everybody's price is rising. The best place to get them is here. And what I'm looking for is these C39K. And I want you to get 30 and bump this back to 10. Add to shopping list. Confirm order. And then remove that order, go upgrade first, and then I'll have them go back up there to family newt. Because I don't want them to go through there. And so while I'm doing that, can I build a Tokyo? See, the Tokyo is the problem. And see, there's my problem with that quest. I have not uncovered the Terran shipyard. And once I do, I still need to get my standing with Terran up to plus 20. I'm not there yet, but it's growing. I'm doing that with a lame factory and miners. So I wanted to build a factory here because their wharf is here, and I don't want to be too far away from the asteroid belt or the void. And the sunlight here is up to 44%. So that reduces the number of solar cells or solar panels that I have to build. And then, as I recall, the next sector over is Venus. I mean, I know Mercury is where you want to build a factory and start making energy cells for Terran. but it's too far away from the minerals, the ores or the gases and minerals. For my blood, anyway. So let's see how far he has to go. You know, I'll check in Venus, but if I put a station manager in there, her range is going to be 2 sectors. So 1, 2. And yeah, it's Venus. And if you look at Venus, and so her sunlight is 189%. But the asteroid belt has everything, Salgonoid. It has everything. Well, except Invidium. We don't make anything with Invidium. We just sell it. And we get that on our assembly missions. Because I do have a factory out in Saturn too, but those crazy Terrans aren't buying much from it. Sagaris is, but not Terran. And if I look at her, so here's her factories. And if you look at her ships information panel, and look at her stars first. So she's got a solid 2 stars, which I can get I have seminars to do that. And if you look at, that's a miner. She can send her miners out 3 sectors. So that's the asteroid belt. There are no minerals in Venus. We can look here. So all there is sunlight. You know, and then Mars is yet another jump away. So if you want to do anything more than energy cells, I mean, you could build two factories, one in Mercury and then a second one in Mars, and feed the Mars station with energy cells. I don't like to feed energy cells because it's cheap to put solar panels onto a factory, and then you don't need to provide your own energy cells. So Venus is still 189%. So let's drop a factory.
Requesting permission to dock.
Docking permission granted.
Yeah, let's build a factory right here in Venus. Make it nice and big. 10 by 10 by 10. And we create it. And let's get it out here in the middle. I don't care about distance from gate other than the price to build or plop down my plot. So let's put it right there on the trade route. It's not going to matter where I put the dock. Buy a license. And let's get this guy in process. So there I have a Venus station. Let's plan her build. Can we see anything here? It's my build stair. Okay, so there's that station. So that shipping lane was out here. What do I have for piers? I'm going to start with just one Terran pier for now, because this isn't going to be that big that quickly that we need 3. And before I even do that, I'm going to go over here. I default the closed loop, but we're in Terran space. So let's build Terran modules on this. And then I like to put at least let's do this. I like my stations to be able to get busy. And I'm adjusting the medium ship approaches here. So that they're not the same. That's still a conflict. Oh, hey, you know what? Let's do this. Let's remove you. Remove you. Let's get fancy here. Let's snark it right up. Let's put a bridge there. A shorty there. A shorty there. And then bridges are 4 ways because we want expansion options.
Hello there.
And then we're going to come out this way for all our other stuff. Well, this is just going to snap right on there anyway. And what I am setting up is a basic plan. Okay, so now we want 2 docks. And I want to change their approach. Let's do that just so they're different. Now, what I want to do is see if I can come down from that. Let's confirm that so I don't have to redo that. Let's come down a ways. See, this is what I meant by expansion. I can come down from any of these and leave my options open. Because what I'm going to do is come across just one. Put a 4-way there. I've got my ships coming in from up, so my solar panels are going to be out.
Requesting permission to dock.
No. We don't want to have to spin it again. So there's 4 at 189%. No, let's do 5. And this is Terran space. And they love to buy energy cells. So let's do this again.
Hello.
Hello there.
All right, now that's an expensive build. And then I want to come out the other way. Not expensive. Solar panels are cheap. And I want to start putting crosses out on the other side. No, I want crosses. Argon crosses. So 1, 2, 3. How many can I go out? Alright. No, let's just do this for now. Because this thing's going to fill right up with solar cells. I only have medium containers. That'll do for now, donkey. So let's put one each of those. So we can turn this into a trading station right off for ore. Once everything gets built, she's gonna start selling her solar panels as soon as this medium container gets built. But they have turrets. You do see pirates in Argon space. I can hit high preset here, and I don't want dumbfires. But we use Alteron modules. Confirm that one for all 3 of them. High preset defaults to the most expensive modules you have, not necessarily the best. Okay, number 3. And I'm going to double check and make sure I use Terran modules.
Requesting permission to dock. Docking permission granted.
Just saying 2, 4, 6, 8 turrets on each storage module. That's a 24 turrets. This thing can defend itself from a hostile destroyer if and only if the destroyer is foolish enough to get close enough. If a destroyer gets in range, those 24 turrets will take it out. So there's that. Go back to that. Confirm that. Confirm the module changes. Up the price, yeah, 7 million to get my base factory built. I almost want to save that as a loadout, but I don't know. Okay. So accept that. I have plenty of money. And then we need to find a builder. Probably have to go someplace where we can see one. There we go. So that station will be built. So we did some fleet mechanics. We built the station. What I can do now, I have got this guy waiting to be built. And I'm waiting. This guy we're playing phone tag here. In a minute or two, Vic Barnard will show up and we'll deliver that Hyde's Vanguard Forgot all about it. Got carried away with the station building, which is what this game is about. You can lose yourself. You can lose a whole winter playing this game. This is how I got I've got over 2,000 hours because I've played a lot where Steam was not tracking my hours. So I've probably got closer to 3,000 hours.
We need to perform a transfer. Great work.
And how much did he pay me? We gotta wait for the autosave. I made money. We have to autosave. How much did he pay me for that? I paid 1.6 for it, I think. And we'll look right there, and he paid me $2 million. So that was some credits. All right, so I'm going to terminate the stream there. And I'm going to do a hard save first. Because after all my live streams, I'm going to hard save. So we discussed what happened in the Josephine battle. How when you build ships for NPC missions or faction missions, they stay in the game, and we saw a very good example of that, a major fleet engagement between Argon and the
Rapier.
Xenon, that Argon won with ships that I built. And we rescued a miner with a quick response force, and we built a station in Terran space, and we built a ship for Antigone. And so there you have it. I am going to drop the game there and end the stream. I am Salgonoid. I stream most weekday mornings early, usually about 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. Eastern time. And I hope to see you online soon, usually on Twitch, sometimes on YouTube here. I'll try and get that server thing set up this weekend, and we shall see. Ta-ta for now.